All right, welcome everybody. It is 6 p.m. and you know what that is? It's Sports Madness. How you guys doing? Your host, Mad Mike Glodt, and joining me as always, Joey Beltrame. Joey B.
Glad to be here, Mike. We got a full show for the fans tonight. We're going to talk AFC, NFC Championships games that just took place on Sunday, and we're going to get with Adam with a little WWE.
That's right. We're going to have in honor of KDPS 88.1, giving away WWE tickets that you could win between 6 and 8.
Ooh, yeah!
Ooh, yeah! We're going to be talking old school WWE. Your chance to win tickets, that's coming up. Great show coming. Keep it here, 88.1 KDPS. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. That was a little Up on Cripple Creek by the band. A little music provided there by Joey B. Good tunes, man.
Yeah, a couple band songs to start the night out, Mike.
Awesome. All right, we got lots of football to cover. We're going to get into the Vikings. I consider it a choke by Brett Favre and the Vikings. But, hey, we'll get into that later. Right first, we're going to talk about the Colts and the Jets. And, I mean, this is no surprise. We're doing this one first because, frankly, it's what everyone expected. You might be able to confuse Peyton Manning for about a half, and then it's over. That's pretty much what happened. What'd you say?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Peyton Manning went into halftime, made the proper adjustments, which everyone knew he was going to make, and comes out second half and just torches the Jets secondary, and he ended the game throwing for 377 yards with 3 scores, had a very impressive day. But the person who I was most impressive with was the quarterback on the losing team, and that's Mark Sanchez. I mean,
oh, no way.
Oh, for being a rookie, the kid came out, he threw 257 passing yards for a rookie, that is. 2 touchdowns, only that one pick at the end trying to bring him back. But he really helped him out all game, and the key loss for the Jets was losing Iowa's Sean Green.
Absolutely.
In that game, it really just hurt him real bad, Mike.
Because, they didn't have no longer the double threat running attack, and you take one of those away. Sean Green, before he got hurt, had 10 carries for 41 yards. Thomas Jones, for the game, had 16 carries, 42 yards, no scores, no fumbles, but, you could really tell they both, or at least one of them, would have been over or close to 100 yards by the end of the game if Sean Green's playing.
Yeah, exactly, and I was happy for the Colts' coach, who used to play defensive back for Iowa, and I just found that out at the game. They said that. I thought that was quite interesting. Another Iowa tie here in the playoffs.
And that Larry Coyer, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, was an assistant coach at Iowa. I'm assuming under probably Hayden Fry, because Hayden's kicked out a lot of coaches. So
yeah, that's true.
That's an even stronger Iowa connection. You got the head coach and the defensive coordinator, Dallas Clark, Bob Sanders. You got the Iowa connection, so go Colts.
Yeah, and I was very surprised with that Colts secondary, how good they played without Bob Sanders. They looked really good, and if they play like that, it's going to be a really interesting game against the Saints.
It is tough, and I think everybody the past couple weeks have seen how fast and how technical the Indianapolis defense is. I'm telling you, this defense is fast. It gets to the ball. They gang tackle. And they don't miss tackles. They're very good one-on-one situations. The first tackle is always, or the first hit is always one that either stops the play for a loss or for no gain.
Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to get back to the music and talk a little Vikings-Saints when we come back. But up next, we have Judy Blue Eyes by Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
It's 6:20, and you're back with the Sports Madness radio show. I'm your host, Mad Mike Glodt. With me is Joey Beltrame. And, Joey, let's get into it. Saints and Vikings. For everything that happened in the game, we'll get into details here as we go. But it was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, a real heck of a game, Mike.
Lived up to expectations.
Yeah, I mean, it came down to the wire. It went into overtime. The ratings on the game were unbelievable. My professor, Stephen Winzenburg, says that football doesn't get very high ratings. Well, I mean, right here proves that he might be wrong on this one, because the ratings were through the roof, and it was unbelievable. It went into overtime, so it went into primetime programming, and it was just unbelievable, Mike.
It was. And talking about the viewers that watched the game, 50,000 viewers for both the AFC and NFC championship games. So huge numbers for TV. It was the highest rated audience, football audience, non-Super Bowl. So if the Super Bowl always gets more views than that. But anyways, back to the game. Brett Favre, I've been saying it all week. I said it, yeah, yep. And the Minnesota Vikings, but mostly Brett Favre choked because he didn't do what they brought him back for and what he came back for. He didn't do it. When it mattered the most, he choked.
Yeah, and it's so sad because, he had such a great year, and everyone was waiting for that game where he just blew up and started making mistakes, and sure enough, it was this game. And the sad part is that last interception, he didn't even have to throw the ball, Mike. All he had to do was run 5 yards, slide, because he doesn't want to get hurt. So all he had to do was slide, call their last time out, have a chance to kick the field goal. And the saddest thing about it is, last pass he's ever made as a Green Bay Packer, interception. Last pass he's ever made as a New York Jet, interception. Last pass maybe he's ever made with the Minnesota Vikings, interception.
Yeah, and, I don't know about you, but they call that a trend. I don't know what they call it. But you know what? Good numbers, 28 of 46, 310 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. We'll talk about that last interception. But, Adrian, the rest of the Vikings did not help him out, man. They fumbled 6 times. They recovered 3 of them. But they fumbled a total of 6 times and got 3 of them back. And Adrian Peterson, even though he had 122 yards rushing and had 3 touchdowns, he laid 3 of those fumbles down.
Yeah, and the key about the fumbles was they came in terrible times. Like, they came two or three of them came inside the red zone, which is just a place where you want to keep the ball and not have a turnover. Come out with some kind of points, even if it is a field goal,
Yeah, and, the Vikings kept shooting themselves in the foot. The numbers don't lie, but the only one that matters is the final score. But the numbers don't lie. As a team, they outran them 2-1, in time of possession, had the ball. Total yards, let's see, I don't see it here. 440 total yards. Brett Favre went nuts. But they choked. I'm sorry, they're a young team minus Brett Favre, but the geriatric god didn't do what he was supposed to do. The team didn't help him out, but they're young. And I don't know, I'm just not a big Brett Favre fan. The whole team choked. And they were still in it at the end, though. That's what's weird. They had a shot.
Yeah, and when you have all the turnovers that they had and to still be in the game with such a great team like the Saints, it told you who really was the better team, which was the Minnesota Vikings. If everyone out there disagrees with me, you can call in and yell at me all you want, but they were the better team. When you turn the ball over that many times and go into overtime, where that's a whole different story. We need to talk overtime and how the ridiculous rules the NFL has. A coin flip's going to determine the future for 2 teams. That's ridiculous. But just to be in that situation, you got to give the Vikings credit.
Oh, absolutely. And, the reason why they were able to stay in, despite those turnovers, their defense. In the second half, the whole game totally, but in the second half, the Saints couldn't do nothing. Drew Brees, was that ball coming out of his hand looked like a wounded duck. He was feeling the pressure. We were talking about dominance. Total yards, Minnesota, 475. New Orleans, 257. Are you kidding me? New Orleans had more penalties and yards than the Vikings. So, Vikings ran the ball 36 times, Saints 23, but, I don't know. I'm not a Vikings fan, so I'm not upset they lost, but how do you explain it?
It's really,
everything was on it for a year of karma and, fate maybe. I don't know, but
yeah, it's really unexplainable to tell you the truth, Mike. I'm still baffled about Favre's decision on that last interception. He rolls out to the right, and the play call was terrible, by the way, so you can't blame it all on Favre. But to roll out to your right and have some yards in front of you, he's got to know the time and situation. Instead, he wants to fling across his body late over the middle to 3 Saints guys in the area of Sidney Rice. It just made no sense to me.
It didn't, and that's, I'm sorry for a guy who's been playing 20 years and who the Vikings invested a lot in, and you invested a lot into the Vikings because you ain't going to find another team that's this close that'll put up with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I don't know. I'm not sorry, but you know what? the Saints beat him up. I mean, he got beat like a redheaded stepchild. I mean, the Saints defense, any chance they got. And some of those were kind of rough, I guess. But you know what? That one when on the end around, Percy Harvin and Brett Favre was, standing there. And McCrary, I think his name is, or something like that, just wiped him out. And they threw a flag after the play was over, like, as everybody's walking back.
Yeah, that was McCray. He just drills him when Favre was real vulnerable in a vulnerable situation.
I'm sorry, that's not a penalty because he is still in the field of play. His job is carrying out that play. What's his name? What's his name?
McCray.
McCray doesn't know that Brett Favre doesn't have the ball. He's assuming he does. His job is to tackle and stop Brett Favre.
Yeah,
that's all he did.
Yeah, I hear you that there. But as a former quarterback back in high school, I have to disagree a little bit. Just because after we hand the ball off, we're quarterbacks. We like to just lollygag it around the side and carry out our fakes nonchalantly. It's no time to be hitting us. As we're carrying out a fake. I know we're like any other player, but the play is way to our left. Why are we getting hit way to the right?
Because if you're a professional NFL quarterback, you're probably making $12 million more than I am. So am I going to knock you on your keister? You better believe it, Jack.
Okay, well, that hit right there raised a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. Do you, Mike, think that Brett Favre will come back for one more season, maybe two?
No, he's done. Because, they had that interview with him before the game, and he looked tired. He looked beat up. He looked old, man. I'm sorry. I'm the same age as Brett Favre, but I don't look that old. He looked tired, and every shot that he took, they would always show a picture of his wife up in the stands, and she'd be, closing her eyes, just grimacing, and you just knew that, I think he's going to have to talk it over with her, and I have a feeling she's going to say, you know what? No more playing. Because, you don't want to be brain dead, man.
Yeah, but this is Brett Favre. He is the toughest guy to ever play in the NFL. And I honestly think he's going to give it the toughest quarterback, I should have said. But
no way.
He is definitely going to give it one more year for his 20th season.
You think so?
And he's going to. I think he needs to because has such a good team around him that if he goes out for one more year and puts up the numbers like he did this year, Peyton Manning won't be able to catch his records. Because I don't think Peyton will stick around as long as Favre has, and I don't think Peyton will be able to catch him. I just don't think it happened. And I think if Favre mans up and stays 2 more years, it'd be an impossibility for Peyton Manning to ever touch his records.
Okay, first thing you're talking about, calling him Brett Favre. I got to go back to this. Good points. The toughest quarterback in NFL.
Who's tougher?
Jim McMahon. You know what? I'll take Jim McMahon in toughness anytime. Jim McMahon, man.
Well, you got me there because I'm a Bears fan, but at the same time, Favre, just the longevity of his career makes him tougher than Jim McMahon in my eyes.
Jim McMahon played forever, man.
Yeah, but did he play 19 years and about ready to play his 20th and put up the stats that Brett Favre has put up?
No, but he's won the same amount of Super Bowl titles as Brett Favre.
Yeah, you got me on that one right there, but you got to take into fact, Favre, he could go back to back if he comes back 2 more years.
He could choke again for the 4th time in a row.
Yeah, and that's a possibility too, but he's never going to know if he doesn't give it that shot, is he, Mike?
Well, the Vikings fans will know because despite the season you had this year, if you come back next year, you better go undefeated and you better win the Super Bowl next year because otherwise you're going to be run out of Minnesota like you were out of Green Bay.
Oh, no way. People in Minnesota love Brett Favre.
Now?
They're going gaga over Brett Favre all the time. And the thing is, he's not even going to come back until preseason game 1. I'm calling it right now. He'd skip all training camp. Childress won't care. He'd just say, go play in Hattiesburg with your little high school boys, and you come back ready to go. Preseason game 1, you'd be the starter. Tavares will be behind you. Be just like this year. They'd go 12-4, make the playoffs, and
that's not going to be good enough. They have to. I'm telling you, if he comes back, he's stupid. Time's up, man. You got to know when to let go. Howie Long, they asked him once for an example. He retired pretty early, only after 9 years, 10 years. And they said, "Why are you retiring?" He said, "Because I didn't want a fellow teammate who was his coach at the time, Art Shell, come up and tell me that it was time to go. I knew it was time to go." You know what, Brett? Great job, buddy, but get on down the line.
Brett, stick with it one more year. Bring Minneapolis a championship.
Tell us what you guys think, man. We've been talking so much. We need to hear what you think. Give us a call, 263-2985. It's Sports Madness with Mike and Joey B. Give us a call. 641. Welcome back, everybody. We're at 88.1 KDPS Sports Madness. Mad Mike here with Joey, and we were just talking about the game, and, you know, we could go break down the X's and O's of the games. We did that, and how key the turnovers were. Adrian Peterson, if he was any other running back, you know what? You're benched. If he wasn't as skilled as he is, even though he fumbles the ball, what other running back out there would you cut that much slack to?
Well, he is just a tremendous athlete. Like when that one play where he fumbles and he gets knocked down and gets back up real quick and recovers his own fumble, that just showed so much athleticism. And
not just that, but that was the third one he had fumbled, so he knew he better get that sucker back.
Yeah, I mean, but wait, when you have such a freak athlete like Adrian Peterson who could just at any moment take the ball and go 80 yards for a score, it's just you got to keep him in the game because he's that home run threat for you.
Yep, and he's Barry Sanders without the fumbling. I think you will take some negative yards by Adrian Peterson. A, if he doesn't fumble, and B, he does, even if he loses, because you're going to take that chance that he will break that 65, 70-yarder. Boom, quick hitter.
Yeah, and one of the keys wasn't Adrian Peterson, but on the other side of the ball at running back, the resurgence in welcome back Pierre Thomas, as he had an outstanding game. I mean, on stats it doesn't look like too much, 14 attempts for 61 yards, but did have a touchdown in the game and ran really well.
Actually had two, I think.
It says just one here, but he ran really well opposite of Reggie Bush the whole game.
Yep, and Reggie Bush kind of showed up after taking the week before kind of off, I guess, against Arizona. But, he as a nice compliment. Pierre Thomas for the Saints, having him back to offset Reggie Bush was cool. And I just, I don't like Reggie Bush. I never have as a player, not even at USC. Great, but, I have my favorites, and he's not one of them. I'm gaining respect for the way that man, he's starting to run now. He can run people over. Don't let him fool you. And a couple times there, everybody waits for him to make the quick move. But I love it when he fakes that and squares up on a tackler and just pops him. That's not what you expect out of Reggie Bush.
Yeah, he's getting better and better as his career extends. And, Reggie Bush, he's one heck of a back, and he's going to have a lot of years to come in the NFL to have a really good season.
Who would you rather have, Adrian Peterson
or Reggie Bush? That's a good question for everyone out there. You could call in, let us know. I don't know. For me personally, I would take the fumbles, and I would take Adrian Peterson just because of his dynamic threat. And I mean,
Reggie Bush I would take Reggie Bush because he's more dynamic on punt returns and kickoff returns. And he doesn't fumble.
Yeah, that's very true. I just ever since Adrian Peterson came into the league and what he was able to do in that first year,
he's a great back. If I had to choose.
Yeah, I mean, just that game where he ran for 296, that really kind of made me really an Adrian Peterson fan.
The next game he fumbled. He's like fumbled in every game, man.
Yeah,
Can he stand it?
Well, he kind of like Tiki Barber. I mean, he kind of got rid of his fumbling issue by carrying that ball a little higher, a little bit tighter, and maybe AP might take a page from his book and learn how to do that.
Or think of it as your signing bonus, Jack. I bet you won't let it say that. Think that football is a bag of money. That's your signing bonus. Every time you drop it, a little bit more comes out, and you don't get it. So maybe if they start finding players for that, that might improve the game.
Makes a little bit of sense, yeah.
Take it away from their salary, not just a fine.
Yeah, little incentives for hanging on to the football for Mr. AP.
You bet. Do something, Adrian. Shoot, man. Stick him in. Because if you can hang on to the football, you'd be great, man. Just cover yourself and stick them if you could.
Yeah.
You could hide it. They do everything else. They hide everything else in football. But, hey, you know what? The Vikings defense, we were talking a little bit about it. And, man, they were good. They were sharp. Jared Allen, even though statistically he didn't have a big game, the defense as a whole, Ben Lieber played great. What was it, a play across the middle where he almost had that interception? Yeah. And he made a couple of other big plays. He made a questionable pass interference call. I don't know if he would have caught that ball. The tight end, they caught him on a pass interference in overtime to help him move down.
Yeah, he just had his back turned there, and that kind of cost him because he turned around at the last second. The guy kind of tripped up, and
But he never looks for the ball either.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. So,
you know, that's a big thing that refs I think take a look at too.
Yeah, but just the presence Jared Allen brought. I mean, he didn't really do much, but just his presence drew a lot of double teams, which forced the Vikings, Williams brothers, to step up maybe, and they got blocked pretty well too. I mean,
they did. One of them went out with an injury, wasn't it? Pat Williams.
Yeah, I think that was Pat. Yep.
I don't know, man. Two big Williams in the middle. It's you know, they get other pads on. I don't know which one's which. They could stand side by side, and I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah,
there's an interesting take the other day about the Vikings. Has their window elapsed? Do you think their players are more veteran and getting old? And do you think this maybe was their last year?
Oh, they got too much talent, too much. They need to work on the offensive line because Steve Hutchinson, sorry folks,
he's getting
can't
old.
play forever.
No.
Neither can Burke. You know, I mean, they can't play forever, man. You know, they come few and far between. Work on the offensive line, but offensively, the skill players at the skill positions, except quarterback, you know, with Brett Favre, yes.
That's very true.
Brett Favre, yes. Tavares Jackson, mediocre team. I'm sorry, they are. But they had the talent, and they're young. They're not old. This will only help them.
Yeah, but you have to also take in the fact that Central Division, it's going to get a lot tougher with the Bears. In the North, the Bears are getting tough. I mean, the Lions, they might be coming around, you know. I know there's some Lion fans here in Des Moines. Hey, little Stafford, I mean, Lions could always come around, and there's other teams in that division which could cause some havoc for the Vikings, especially my Bears.
Packers, you know.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
always
the Packers
the
are young.
Oh, yeah, Packers made the playoffs this year. You never know. And you look at the NFC in general, the Saints, they'd probably be back and good next year. I mean,
oh, yeah, I could. You know, but Reggie Bush said he would not take a pay cut because he's a free agent. He said he would not take a pay cut in 2010 to remain with the team.
Yeah, do you know how much Reggie Bush is making per playoff win? Let me give you these numbers. Reggie Bush, first win of the playoffs, $5K. Second win, $5K. He's up to $1 million right there.
500,000?
500K, yeah. Up to $1 million right there. If he wins the Super Bowl, he'd be making $1.3 million on incentives for the playoffs, just in winning those 3 games.
Wow.
Yeah. Good. Nice job there, Reggie, signing that contract.
Yep, exactly. The 3rd year of a contract, going into the 4th of NFL players. They had to sign for the rookie, you know, maximum or whatever they had. But now he's going to want big money, and, you know, depending on what happens with the NFL salary cap, you know,
that's a whole other issue there.
Yeah.
We could honestly be in strike next year and not have any football. It is a possibility.
I think everybody learned from baseball. A strike is not very good when other people don't have, are having trouble paying bills, living check to check. And you're striking because you're only making $11.5 million instead of $12.5.
Yeah,
you know what?
That'd be the worst thing to do, especially with the state that our economy's in right now. It'd be terrible.
But you never know. I mean, somebody will pay it. You know, we got some NFL news, man. We're going to talk more about this, but I'm going to throw this in there because I'm a diehard Raiders fan. Last week, the Raiders decided to keep Tom Cable as head coach. I called it. I said, I'll keep him. Other people were interested in the job. Jim Fossil was interviewed. Don't laugh. Jim Fossil's old school, man. That's what the Raiders need. They need someone to teach them. And Tom Cable did a good job of teaching the basics. Say what you want.
Okay.
Today, the offensive coordinator, they hired a quarterback coach from the Baltimore Ravens as their offensive coordinator.
Okay. Do you want to know why Al Davis is keeping Cable around? Do you want to know?
I am pretty sure I already know, but you tell me why.
Okay, he's keeping him around for one more year because there were no coaches out there. No coaches that he wanted in place for the Raiders, so he's going to wait one more year, hope more coaches get fired, the guy he wants, and then Cable's gone. Cable's not sticking around longer than next year. I'd bet you anything.
I agree. He won't be. But he only had 1 year on his contract also.
Yeah.
But he will land somewhere as a coordinator.
He's a lame duck. That's what he is right now.
But
you have a lame duck for a coach. Your organization.
I don't care. You know what else though? This is why Al Davis, as old and crazy as Al is, and I love you, but Al, the old timers disease is hitting you hard, brother. this was one of them glowing moments. You know why? Because for the first time, the Raiders have some stability going in. No, you have to start somewhere, man. You know, you got to have a head coach more than 1 year, you know, to get some stability. And Tom Cable is a offensive line coach, man. He knows one thing: football. You practice hard, you hit hard, you know.
All right,
discipline. That's what they need, and he provides it.
Ultimate question: 2010 season rolls around. Will the Raiders make the playoffs?
Yes.
Oh, they cut on that one. Go to
break. Here you go. David Carr for the New York Giants. He's a free agent.
Oh, buddy.
You know what? I will take a free agent. We'll get into the draft here. We'll get into this because I could argue this all night about the Raiders, Jack. I thought about every scenario, but we're not here to talk about the Raiders. It's not the Raiders show. It's Sports Madness, and that's what we are, man. We're just mad. We're about ready to get mad, so we got to take a break.
Yeah, so somebody call in and tell Mike how wrong he is. The number's 263-2985. Call in and tell Mike Raiders are not.
Tell me I'm wrong. Argue with me. Tell me why. I'm a Raiders fan. I've heard it all, man. Bring it on. 263-2985. We'll be right back. All right, it's 7 o'clock, top of the hour. Give us a call, Des Moines, 263-2985. It's Sports Madness with your hosts, Mad Mike and Joy Bay. Come on, people, give us a call. Tell us what you think. Right now, we got Layla by Mr. Eric Clapton. Only on the Edge, 88.1 KDPS. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's 706, 88.1 KDPS. Sports Madness. All right, and we do got madness. WWE, baby, it's coming to Des Moines.
Yep, coming to Wells Fargo Arena on Monday, the 15th of February. We got 2 tickets we're giving away.
That's right, but you know what? You got to answer a WWE question.
Yeah, that is true, and we will have that coming up for you. But the thing is, this is going to be right after Valentine's Day, so make sure you take your girlfriend. You got a chance, go see a WWE wrestling event with her. I mean, you know she's going to love that the day after Valentine's Day, won't she, Mike?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's where you want to take your date on Valentine's Day, to a place where there's, you know, wrestlers. Yeah, that's really, you better have a pretty good Valentine's Day gift. But that would be, you know, maybe the guy doesn't always have to buy Valentine's, man. It goes both ways.
Very
so,
true.
You know what? Ladies, if you're out there, buy your man them WWE tickets, or better yet, after we get done talking here, we're going to give you a chance to call in if you know the question. We're not sure the question because we have to think of a good one. Now, me and Joey are both WWE fans, right, brother?
Yeah, I was a big fan back in the day when all the real good wrestlers were going at it. But nowadays, I don't follow it as much just because, you know, there's no Ultimate Warrior, there's no Randy the Macho Man Savage.
Oh, yeah!
So many good wrestlers that are just non-existent anymore, and it's real tough to follow now for me.
It is, but, you know, all those wrestlers are dead or too old because Ultimate Warrior, man, he was after Bret Hart, who is my favorite wrestler. It's got to be the Ultimate Warrior, man. Only when that music would start, man, he'd come running down to the ring, man. He's jacked, you know. Yeah. And he died of a steroid overdose. I don't know if many people know that. But he admitted, man, he used to get fired up before he'd do a match.
Yeah, he did have one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time against Hulk Hogan.
I think so. Greatest wrestling match I've ever seen. I've watched a lot of wrestling ever since I was a kid. Here in Des Moines, Bulldog Bob Brown. You know, I go way back into the mid-'70s. But that was by far the greatest wrestling match I ever saw. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. Yeah.
And then the 90s when you had all the carnage with Mankind and Mr. Sacco and all those cage fights that he used to be a part of and just bleeding out his head. It was that was just a sight. And Vince McMahon, just you'd have to say he's one of the best promoters ever.
Oh, yeah, he took a product, and with the help of some others, because that's what it is. I love WWE, man, but he took a product and made it huge. Now, I hate calling it WWE. I've always called it WWF, man. That's what I grew up watching.
Yeah, and Vince kind of monopolized the sport as he took over all the other
wrestling. He owns all the other companies.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of just took over and kind of piled them all up and made just the WWF, which later had to get turned to WWE. Why, Mike?
Because of some copy name. Wasn't it the World Wildlife Federation or some crap like that?
I thought that was the stupidest thing because the WWF, I mean, honestly, when you think WWF, did you think a World Wrestling Federation or did you think a World Wildlife
Federation? I'd rather watch, Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior duking it out than, two pigs or something.
Yeah, they should have made
Wildlife.
They should have made the Wildlife Federation change their name.
Yeah.
Change it to Environment or Wildlife Environment or something.
Varmints.
Wildlife
varmints.
Just something. How about Stone Cold? Remember him?
Oh my God!
Whenever you hear the glass shatter,
yeah.
he'd come down in the Zamboni cracking beers.
Yep.
Oh man.
And giving everybody the international sign for peace.
Oh yeah, and the Stunner, Stone Cold Stunner. Oh
and
man.
They never wrestled, but what I would have loved, Goldberg, who is one of my favorite wrestlers that wasn't in the WWE, but Goldberg, who is he was TNA's answer, or TNT at the time. Yeah. Wrestling, now TNA, but TNT, he was their version of Stone Cold, and I would have liked to see Stone Cold and Goldberg hooked up in a match.
Yeah, and they had that WCW going on, too, for a while with Sting and all those guys. And I didn't really follow that much. They did have a cool video game that came out, WCW versus NWO and all that. But, I mean, that was back when I was a kid. So, hey, it's changed totally. But, I mean, free tickets and go see.
Oh, yeah.
Go see. Do we know who's going to be there? John Cena or anyone like that?
Randy Orton, according to the advertising to the commercial, because it's a pretty sounding commercial. But or spot for it. But Randy Orton's going to be there. John Cena. I'm sure the normal list. I went to the last one that was here, man, and that was cool. That was a WCW, and it was like Friday night. The Friday night one, whatever the ECW, whatever it is, ECW.
Yeah.
It was SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah, it was a SmackDown Raw combination. Anyways, The Undertaker. He was, he wasn't supposed to be there, but he was. And I tell you what, he has the coolest entrance of all time, man. I don't care. Ultimate Warriors is cool, but for pure show, until you see it live, TV does not do this dude's entrance. I mean, that lights go down, the smoke, and that doom, kind of like it's that dong sound, and all of a sudden, man, you start seeing like lightning and cool entrance.
You think it's cooler than good old Val Venus? Hello, lady.
Hello, lady.
Come on down in the towel, Val Venus. Hey, oh man,
Val Venus, man. I never even heard of that dude. I got to be honest. Who is he?
He was around in the '90s. He's quite the ladies' man. Him and who was the other guy? The Godfather. Remember him, the Godfather? He's a pretty good guy, anyways. But anyways, it's just WWE's coming, and guys better get ready for it. And hey, call us at 263-2985. We put you on the air, and you tell us who your favorite WWF wrestler was of all time. And
absolutely.
I'm sure there's a lot of Hulk Hogan fans out there still. So I mean, just call in and talk to us.
263-2985, like the man said. It's 7:23. Welcome back, everybody. How you guys doing? This is Mad Mike. Joining me with Joey B. Tell you what, we're going to talk a little Pro Bowl now. And a caller called in last week and asked us what we thought about the NFL scheduling the Pro Bowl the week of the Super Bowl. Never mind the fact that they took it out of Hawaii, which I think is just stupid. I don't like it because 14 of the 44 starters named to the Pro Bowl aren't playing because they're in the Super Bowl. Come on, man. If you're going to have the Pro Bowl the week of the Super Bowl, you better make it mandatory that they all play in it. Because that's who the fans voted for. It's just stupid. The NFL's got to stop seeing dollar signs in front of everything. I don't like the fact the Pro Bowl's this week. What do you think, Joey?
I think Commissioner Goodell really screwed up on this one. I mean, it makes no sense to have it right before the Super Bowl, for one. I mean, it doesn't give that much recognition to the Pro Bowlers because you got guys like Peyton Manning and Drew Brees who are in the Super Bowl and can't even play in the Pro Bowl. So that makes no sense right there. And it just, I hope something bad happens because of this. Like, when baseball, when Bud Selig canceled that baseball game and called it a tie, that All-Star game, that was ridiculous. That was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. So I hope something happens to this Pro Bowl in their first experiment ever doing this, like a lightning storm or something, because in Hawaii you don't get those very often.
Exactly.
Compared to Miami, so like a lightning storm or like something happens where just it throws everything out of whack and they have to go back to the old system of having it down in Honolulu, Hawaii.
2 weeks after, or a week after the Super Bowl. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if they held it 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, because that just gives me another week of football to watch, man, and talk about, because I'm about the only, I don't know many other people who go on suicide watch once the Pro Bowl was over. Waiting for next year, man. Jones. This is the worst part coming up here for me, the winter, without football. So, yeah, I'm one of those people that Jones football, so they can play all year round as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, the Pro Bowl, it's not the same. I mean, dollar signs are dollar signs. But like you said, what about the guys who, worked all year for that time after the Super Bowl, after all the Super Bowl drama's over, then those guys, that's their time to shine. I just don't understand why you're doing it the week of the Super Bowl. Have it in the Super Bowl city if you want the weekend after. That's not going to help you much either, because nobody can afford to stay, They're down there the week of the Super Bowl game. Nobody else can afford to stay another week.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just the bad timing, and just everything about it is just wrong, I think. And
it is wrong.
And they need to do something about it. I mean, we're going to watch this year because we love football, and we're going to find out if it was better or if it was worse. And my honest opinion is there's no way it could be better. So we're going to find out, though, and maybe we will be surprised, and it might be a really good game down in Miami.
It may be, and, I'm sure people there will attend, but I'll watch it because it's football. I mean, I'll watch any kind of football. So, but you know what? Come on, guys, give us a call, 263-2985. Tell us what you think. Do you like it or don't you like it? Also, something to ponder. We'll throw this out there, too, real quick. We're going to talk about this next segment. Overtime. And should the rule be changed in the NFL?
Yeah, should it? And also, we got the WWE question of the night for you.
That's right. Joey B came up with this one, and it's a good one. You got to go ahead, Joey.
All right. First person to call me and answer this question will receive 2 tickets to Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
February 15th, day after Valentine's Day, here in Des Moines at Wells Fargo Arena.
What you gonna do, brother?
The question is, what are the names of the 2 clowns who in the 90s would come out from under the ring and cause some carnage?
Carnage.
You call in and tell me those 2 clowns' names at 263-2985, and we got a pair of tickets for you. Call in.
It's 7:40. Welcome back to Sports Madness, 88.1 KDPS. For those of you who are listening, Joey picked that song, man. It was not me, Michael Jackson. I'm letting Joey play the tunes tonight, man. They were great all the way up to that.
Oh, what's wrong with little Michael? Little PYT, pretty young thing.
Yeah, whatever, Michael. Yeah, he liked the pretty young thing.
Yeah, well, that's true. Although they did, who knows with Mike,
Yeah, he liked going to sleep a lot better. Sleep for a long time, Michael.
Man.
Sorry. I'm probably the only person that was trying to think of jokes to make after he died right away.
Oh, MJ.
Anyways, we're not going to talk about Michael Jackson, at least not nicely. I don't know, man. Here's a question for people out there, and you, Joey. We'll switch topics. We're going to go to a little basketball, because I'm going to have to, in a couple weeks, start talking basketball. And Dwayne Wade against LeBron James last night. A great contest between them. I mean, it came down to those two, with LeBron making a heck of a stuff over Dwayne Wade. After Dwayne Wade blocked his shot. Great matchup. Both of them played outstanding. Of course, the Cavaliers won. But all this talk about LeBron and Dwayne Wade being teammates next year. What do you think? Good idea or bad idea?
I think it's a really good idea. Do I think it's going to happen? Not a chance. I mean, if it did happen, it would probably happen in Miami. I think that LeBron would maybe want to go down to South Beach and chill out down there for a while with Dwayne Wade, and that's the only way I can see it happening. But do I really see it? I don't. I think it's an impossibility. I think
financially, you think, or what?
Just both financially, and I mean, I know they like each other and they say they can play together, but really they're going to want to give up the ball and not be able to score 40 a night on any given night. So it's just like I just don't see two superstars like that really working together.
You know, I do, only because of Pippen and Jordan. Now, the key is Pippen and Jordan played together. Pippen came in right away and was playing with Jordan, so, you know, Jordan was with Pippen right from the beginning of Pippen's career. Let's not forget that. So, a lot of people, you know, it could be a Jordan Pippen. There's never been Kobe or Shaq. You know, two players that can carry a team. I would like to see it just because I think the type of characters they are, it would happen. The only way it's going to happen is if one of them decides to take a huge pay cut.
Yeah, and that's what I don't see happening. Yeah. I just don't think in today's world an athlete who is outstanding as they are is going to want to take a pay cut and significantly lose some hype and some spotlight by playing with another superstar athlete in the NBA.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, LeBron and Kobe played. I think Dwayne Wade played in the Olympic team also.
Yeah.
You know, and that was one thing. That was, you know, a dream team. But, you know, isn't that what we want? Don't we miss that? There's too much parity, man. I want a Kobe and Shaq team. I want a Jordan and Pippen back. I want to see LeBron and Dwayne Wade. If anyone takes a pay cut, it would be LeBron James. And you know why? Only because he makes so much more money in endorsements.
Oh, yeah.
Anything LeBron James does makes him money. I mean, he is going to, you know, there's no doubt Michael Jordan we found the carrier of the torch. Because Kobe, he's a great player, but as far as marketing goes, you know, Kobe's not real high up there except for Nike, and that's it.
Yeah, very true. But you got to give Kobe all his props. He's had a great run, but it's time for him to maybe step down in the next year or two and really pass the throne over to LeBron.
Yeah, because, I mean, he's the future. But think of next year, man. Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, they're all free agents.
Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, the list goes on. Amari Stoudemire. There's so many of them, and it's just a lot of tremendous athletes, and it's really gonna be interesting to see where they all land and what teams pick up who. And it's just that if you're gonna buy, it's like my parents always say, you bought that NBA video game last year. Well, if you were to buy an NBA video game, next year is the year to do it, because there's gonna be so many mix-ups around the NBA that your 2009 game just won't matter anymore.
That's right, and I missed that though. I wanted to see that hookup. Once you said, will it happen? Well, you know, one of them, yeah, they say they both don't mind sharing the ball and they're good character people. Man, you're talking, you know, lots of money, half of what you're making now and half of what you're going to be making if you go somewhere else. But who can afford LeBron James? Let's be honest. The Knicks and the Cavaliers.
Yeah,
that's it.
There's not many teams. I mean, there's a lot of teams emptying house that will be emptying house for the free agents who are going to be signing. So I mean, there might be a couple teams who might lose some guys to try to make some money for a LeBron James type athlete.
That'll be interesting to see. All right, let's see. We talked a little bit of everything tonight. A little WWE, even some NBA basketball. We mixed on the Brett Favre thing. I say he should go. You think he should come back for one more year at least, maybe two?
Maybe two, yep.
And I think it's time for him to go. Let's see what else we talk about.
We talked a little bit of WWE, and we still got
those tickets.
Yeah, we still got 14 minutes of show left. So if you want to call in and try to answer the question
again.
What?
I tell you what, no one's going to be able to answer that question. You think?
Oh yeah, they better. If no one answers in the next 13 minutes, we'll tell you. But the question again is, what two clowns used to come out from under the ring and cause all kinds of havoc? We need the name of those two clowns, and you got yourself 2 tickets to Monday Night Raw.
Ooh, yeah! Welcome back, everybody. It's 755, 88.1 KDPS. Mad Mike, Joey B.
Joey B.
Joey B. Now, man, I've been calling him Joey B for so long. His name's Joey Beltrame. And he posed, we were giving away WWE tickets, and he posed a tough question. I'm a big WWE fan. I have been when they were WWF. And I remember these clowns, but I never knew their names. But some lucky person, at least she called in and gave it a try. She didn't get them right, but Joey, the prize manager here, gave her the break, right?
Yeah, she gave me the answer, Bozo and some other clown, which is totally off, but I mean, it is a good effort.
What is the answer?
The answer is Dink and Doink. They used to come out from underneath the ring and cause all kinds of havoc.
See, I mean, I thought it was Oink and Doink.
Oink and Doink. Nope, Dink and Doink.
Dink and Doink. Well, that's even better. But you know what? She came close enough. Jory Smith. Ankeny, Iowa. She's a junior in business. Congratulations. You win WWE tickets. Thank you for calling in. You're the only one. I don't know what's up, man. Apparently the phone lines have been damaged by the ice. So,
yeah, I don't know where all the love is. We had so much love last week. Had like 10 callers, and this week we get one caller.
Yeah, that's all right. Give us another shot next week. Same time, 6 to 8 o'clock, 88.1 KDPS. #1 radio station as voted. I got to get this in there. The ICMA, the Iowa College Media Awards, voted Grandview University Radio, 88.1 KDPS, #1 station.
But more importantly, Mike Glodt got #3 best sportscaster.
That's right,
in
best
the state.
sportscast. Yep, live. Did a little football play-by-play last year, and yep, Professor Winzenburg, thank you for sending it in. And yeah, I got 3rd place, man.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a good deal. You can listen to me and Joey. You got your own show, right? Monday nights.
Yeah, Monday nights, 10 to midnight with Pistol Pete Helgeson.
Cool, Pistol Pete and Joey B. You got to tune in. You can listen to all the great DJs here at 88.1 KDPS, Sunday through Thursday, 6 p.m. to midnight. All the new DJs, I tell you, I'm doing an alumni show, so I don't know a lot of the new DJs, but I'm looking forward to getting to know them. You can too by tuning in. Let's get them on. Christy and Michael are next. 88.1 KDPS. Mount Mercy, Katie Carmen brings the ball up. Gets it off to Dirks. Dirks gives it off to Dabrowski. Back to Dirks. They're trying to go inside. They throw the ball inside deep to Manny. Manny posted up swing. Gets the shot up and in. That's the first score of the game, and Mount Mercy leads early 2-0. Angie Creighton brings the ball up, gives it off to Alicia Onan. Alicia dribbling top of the key, gets a nice pick from Bailey. Alicia, long three-pointer off the rim. Grandview has not made a shot yet. She had a nice look at it. The shot went no good. Now Mount Mercy looking to charge. That's Carmen, picked up by Reed. Gets it out to Dirks. Dirks gets it off to Paddock. Long three-pointer, no good. Fight for the rebound. Alicia Onan had great position. Looks like the foul will be on Mount Mercy. Katie Dabrowski. That's her first and team 3rd. Great positioning there by Alicia. And we have some more substitutions for Grandview as Jody Nickel comes back in and Tanya Slings gets a well-deserved rest. And Molly Gonzalez comes in and Micah Reed takes a seat. So let's set the lineup for you for Grandview. It's Alicia Onan and Molly Gonzalez as the guards. Jody Nickel at center, along with Angie Creighton and Bailey Schekinger at forwards. Alicia Onan takes the ball top of the key. Alicia looking to drive. Gets it to Nickel deep inside. Nickel back to Alicia. Long three-pointer. She's open. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Alicia Onan. Gets Grandview on the board and the lead 3-2 with 14:35 left here in the first half. Mount Mercy though. That's Carmen. She's looking to drive. Gets it off to Dabrowski. Dabrowski to Dirks. Dirks looking to drive. Gets it out to Backman. Backman gets it into Dabrowski. Long three-pointer, no good. Alicia Onan with the rebound. She's off and running. Gets the ball to Creighton on the fourth court. Angie gets a nice pick for Bailey. Goes baseline, brings the ball back out. Loose ball down on the ground. There's a fight for it. Looks like we're going to have a jump ball. And it looks like Grandview retains possession on the jump ball. 16 left on the shot clock. 14:03 left in the first half with Grandview leading 3-2. Creighton takes it out underneath the basket. Looking to bring it in. Could have been a foul there. Should have been a foul there, but Onan gets the ball in. Tough defense by Mount Mercy's Katie Carmen, but she picks up the foul, guarding Molly Gonzalez. That is Carmen's first foul and team's 4th. Grammy gets a new shot clock and the ball out inside. Gonzalez takes the ball in from Creighton. Molly guarded tight. Mount Mercy comes up playing a tough man-to-man defense. Molly gets a nice pick from Nickel. Shot goes up and in. Molly Gonzalez got a nice pick from Jody Nickel and put that ball up and in. Grandview leads 5-2 with 13:43 left in the first half. Mount Mercy sets their offense up. That is Heather Backman, who just recently checked in. They go inside to Paddock. Paddock has the ball knocked around. Take it away. by Molly Gonzalez, who ran into Alicia Onan. Grandview sets her offense. Top of the key. Alicia getting a nice pitch from Jody Nickel. Molly driving deep. Looks like she was fouled as she went up with a shot. That was a nice drive by Molly Gonzalez. See who the foul is on for Mount Mercy.
For Mount Mercy. Her second personal team's fifth foul to have.
And that's on Katie Carmen. She picks up her second. 15 foul. Molly Gonzalez will be at the line shooting 2 as she was fouled in the act of shooting. First one's up and good. Nice job by Molly there. Looks like Micah Reed checked in for Alicia Onan. She gets a well-deserved rest. Molly is shooting 78% from the free throw line, so this is pretty much money. She gets ready. There's a second one. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Grandview leads 7-2. Molly Gonzalez has been the leading scorer with 4 points. Mount Mercy brings it up. This is number 4. Katie Carmen still remains in the game with 2 personal fouls. She gets the ball off to Bachman. Bachman back to Carmen. Carmen back to Dirks, who just recently tried to check back in. Jesse Dirks drives against Jody Nickel. Nice defense by Jody. Followed her to the hoop. Got a piece of the ball. Shot no good. Rebounded by Angie Creighton. Gets it off to Micah Reed. Micah down lead to Jody Nickel, who brings the ball out. She's caught in the corner. Gets it off to Molly Gonzalez. Oh, nice inside pass to Bailey Seginger, who muscles it up. Good job by Bailey. She was a defender all over. Used her strength. Had good position to put the ball up and in. Nice job by Bailey. So with 12:37 left, there's a timeout on the floor. Mount Mercy takes a timeout. After jumping out to a quick 2-0 lead, Grandview has gone on a 9-0 run and currently leads 92 with 12:37 left here in the first half. Molly Gonzalez has been a big spark for Grandview coming off the bench. She has 4 points. Also, Alicia Onan finally finding her range. She's got 3 points. And Bailey Seginger has the other 2 points. Let's take Grandview's lineup right now. It's Micah Reed and Molly Gonzalez at the guards, along with Angie Creighton, Jody Nickel, and Bailey Seginger. Let's set Mount Mercy's offense here. They have Katie Manning and Kelly Dabrowski, Jesse Dirks, Addie McCready. Looks like we got a foul on Micah, a little reach-in foul.
Her first, team's second foul.
That's Micah's first and only the team's second foul. So Mount Mercy will take the ball on the near side. Bachman is the 5th starter there for your Mount Mercy. I forgot to mention. She's got the ball now. Got it entirely by Jody Nickel. Jesse Dirks has the ball. There's 14 on the shot clock. Mount Mercy having a tough time trying to get it inside. Oh! Looks like they're going to call a foul on Bailey Seginger for reaching over. And that's Bailey's first personal. 3rd team foul here in the first half. Mount Mercy takes the ball out underneath their hoop. Dirks got a full shot clock. She takes a nice 15-foot shot, and it's in. That breaks a 9-0 Grandview run as Micah Reed brings the ball up. Grandview leads 9-4 with 11:59 left in the first half. Nickel gets the ball up to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking to drive. She gets the ball to Micah, top of the key for 3-point range. Micah looking to drive. 5 on the shot clock. She got to get shot up. Nice inside move. Off the rim, no good. Bailey in there fighting for the rebound. Loose ball picked up by Mount Mercy. And here comes Dabrowski. Pushes the ball up. Gets it off to Dirks. Dirks back to Dabrowski, who's got it tightly by Creighton, who hands her off to Micah Reed. Grandview playing tough man defense. Excuse me. They go inside. Tough defense by Bailey Seginger. Nickel came over and got a piece of that. So with 11:08 left, Coach Smith didn't see something he liked, so he calls a timeout. And 11:08 left in the first half. Grandview leads 9-4. First down and 10 Grandview at the 39-yard line, just underway in the fourth quarter. Charles in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers set, 3 on the far side. Looks to the sideline, gets the play call. He's got Porter here on the near side. Charles in the shotgun, gets the snap. Fake hand out to Furlow. Charles keeps it himself, gains maybe 2 yards, up to about the 41-yard line at Grandview. Gain of 2. It's going to bring up a second down and 8. So Charles, once again, looks to the sideline, gets the play. It's going to be shotgun formation with Furlow in the backfield with him. He's got Big Nick Eaton lined up as his H-back. In the slot, near side. Far side, he's got Obdahl and Mendillion. Charles, a shotgun formation. Facing the second down and 8 at the 41-yard line. Grandview Trails 24-14, but hoping to get some more points here. Charles takes the high snap. He goes across the Porter, incomplete. And there was no flag down. That was good defense by number 3. Dustin Craig, the strong safety who had one-on-one coverage, got his hand in there and knocked the ball away from Porter. Going to bring up a third down and 8. Ball at the 41-yard line. Look for either a quick draw here or maybe Charles on a rollout to try to hit Medallion cutting across the middle. That play has been there for Grandview. Charles in the shotgun with Furlow. Third down and 8 from their own 41. Grandview Trails 24-14. Charles gets the snap. Getting tough pass rush. Throws it. He's got Big Nick Eaton open across the middle, all across midfield, all the way up to about the 47-yard line. Huge gain. 12-yard gain, it looks like, and that's going to be a first down Grandview. Charles, facing a tough rush off a bad snap, was able to get the ball away before he being hit. Nick Eaton wide open across midfield. First down and 10 for Grandview at the 47-yard line of the Knights. Eaton in motion. Charles heads it out to Furlow. Furlow up to about the 45-yard line before he's brought down. Gain of maybe 3. That's going to bring up a second down, as that was a 12-yard pass to Nick Eaton the play before. Second down and 8 for Grandview. Ball at the 45-yard line. Charles looks to get the play. He's back in the shotgun with Furlow. 3 wide receivers set. Porter here on the near side with Medallion in the slot. Obdahl far side. Medallion in motion. Charles looking to pass. He hits Nick Eaton again. Big Nick Eaton up to the 30, all the way down to about the 28-yard line. Gregory Charles making some great plays as there's a Knight player down. Let's see who that is. That is big number 99. Van Ossie, the 6'1", 270-pound senior, comes off limping. And that's too bad. Homecoming game and a senior, you hate to see that happen, but he comes off under his own power. Meanwhile, that's a first down and 10 for Grandview as Charles completed the pass all the way down to the 28-yard line of the Knights. 3 wide receivers set. Charles under center with Furlow in the backfield with him. Medallion in motion. Hand out to Furlow. He cuts it back. He's got a hole. He's at 15 all the way down to the 13-yard line. Made a nice cutback spin move. Got down to about the 14-yard line before he is tackled. Nice run there by Furlow. And the play before that, that pass completion to set up that first down was a 17-yarder to Nick Eaton. So Grandview now on the move. First down and 10, ball at the 14-yard line. Charles in the shotgun formation with Furlow behind him. Hands out to Furlow. He's at the 15. He goes nowhere. Maybe gained a yard before he is wrapped up by a host of defenders. It's going to bring up second down and probably 9 for Grandview. 11:25 left here in the third quarter. 24-14 Grandview Trails. That's not too bad a job here by Grandview. Bring you up to the state on the stats. Furlow has 14 carries for 52 yards. Gregory is 12 of 23 for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shotgun formation. 4 wide receivers. Charles, he's looking for Porter again. He catches it where he gets to about the 10. Let's see where they mark forward progress. They're going to give him forward progress to about the 9-yard line, it looks like. And it's going to bring up a third down. Let's see. Nope, they do mark it. Yeah, they mark it at the 9, so it's going to be third down and probably 5. Third down and 5. Clock continues to run. 10.5 left here in the fourth quarter. Charles looks to get the play from the sidelines. He's got Medallion here lined up in the slot with Porter far side, near side. Opdahl far side. Look for the lob to Opdahl here. Charles, high snap. He gets it across. He's got Medallion at the 1. Jay, did he get in? They ruled him in. Touchdown, Grandview. Holy cow. Jay Medallion, the little man, came across the middle after going in motion, caught the ball at about the 2-yard line, and somehow was able to get through 2 tacklers to put that ball in. Touchdown, Grandview, 24-20. Wow. 10 minutes left in the game, and I tell you what, who lit the fire under Grandview at halftime is Jay Medallion. I tell you what, that was a 9-yard pass from Gregory Charles. He ran a great route. Great route in motion, came back across underneath. Charles hit him perfectly, fought his way. It was close. I don't know if the ball actually crossed the plane, but the official said it did, so we'll take it. Elder gets it off the extra point. It's good. That makes the score Marion College 24, Grandview 21 with 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Hang on to your hats, folks. It's not over yet. You're listening to Viking football on Grandview College Radio. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
More Grandview Viking athletics coming up in a moment.
Laramie Lowe, along with me is Joey Beltrame. And back in the studio is Kristen Dalen doing all of our producing for this event tonight. It is Grandview women's basketball. They're taking on the Vitterboro V-Hawks out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And let's get to the starting lineups real quick for the Vitterboro V-Hawks. We have number 4, Katina Mandelares. Number 10, Danny Templin. Number 12, Sammy Weaver. Number 13, Sammy Colby. And number 14, Paige Babish. For Grandview, we got number 3, Micah Reed. She is a guard out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and she's 5'5" senior. We have a 5'10" freshman out of Dayton, Iowa, Jennifer Jorgensen. A 5'6" senior guard out of Redland, Iowa, Jamie Sickles. A 6-foot senior senior forward out of Ogden, Iowa. Manila, Iowa. And that is Bailey Scheckinger. And Daniel Ballard is out of Boone, Iowa, 6'2" junior, and she is the starting center for Grandview Vikings. Now, Joey, as we get started here, what are some of the keys for the Viking women's basketball tonight?
Well, the Viking women are hot. They're coming off 4 consecutive wins. The last one being this last Thursday against William Penn here at home. They won 71-58, and they're led by, as Dick Vitale would say, some diaper dandies, some outstanding freshman players. Jenny Jorgensen, who's averaging 16.5 points a game, and Amy Voss, who's averaging 12. But when you look at the true leadership of this team, you got to give it to the seniors. It's Bailey Scheckinger. She's been doing it her whole career here at Grandview, alongside Micah Reed and Jamie Sickles, 2 very good guards. And they're going to need that senior leadership here tonight as they go against a pretty good Viterbo team who has 2 seniors, and one of them being Katina Mandelares, who is from an Aussie girl and straight out of Australia, and a real good basketball player, and Grandview's going to have to find a way to contain her tonight, Laramie.
Right now, Grandview's sitting at 8-2, in second place in the conference, right behind Iowa Wesleyan at 9-1, and in third place is Mount Mercy. So this is a real key game for Grandview to make sure they keep going up in the conference. They lose this, and they could lose ground on some of the teams in the conference right now. We're getting ready for tip-off here in Sussum Gymnasium, excuse me.
It's going to be interesting to see what both teams come out in defensive-wise. It looks like Grandview has a pretty good height advantage against Viterbo here, so that'd be interesting to see what each team comes out and does today.
I think it's fair to say that we can look for Daniel Ballard to get a lot of looks inside the game the other day against William Penn on Thursday, I believe it was, and they got into Daniel Ballard. They took something like 4 3-pointers, I think, the whole game. And a jump off for Grandview is going to be number 20, That's going to be Jennifer Jorgensen from Dayton, Iowa, the freshman. And she's going up against number 4, Katina Mandaleras out of Australia. And Grandview controls the tip. It goes to number 30, Jamie Sickles. Sickles over to Reed on the right side of the floor. Reed into Ballard. Ballard makes a move to the hoop, gets it stolen by number 10. That's Danny Templin, the freshman 6-footer out of Richland Center, Wisconsin. She brings up the floor. Over to number 12, and that's Sammy Weaver. And it goes inside. Try to get it into Mandaleras, and Micah Reed gets the jump ball for Grandview.
Well, both teams are trying to work the ball inside, just like you said. Grandview looks to Ballard. She had a nice move towards the basket, but lost it going up.
And now Viterbo's going to inbound it, and it's Templin into Weaver. Back to Templin in the right corner. Weaver, shot clock to 7 seconds. Inside to 13, Sally Colby, and she puts it up for 2.
Nice little dump pass in the lane for a nice easy shot there by Colby.
And she's out of Heartland, Wisconsin. And now Grandview will get a chance to tie it up here. Scheckinger has the ball on the left side. Going hard to the hoop. Makes a play. Can't get the layup to go. Tries to get on rebound. They call it out on Grandview. It's going to be Viterbo ball. I'm not too sure about that call.
Yeah, questionable call, but a nice job by Bailey there, driving the lane and getting a nice look. We are back here at Grandview Gym, and Grandview's Jorgensen will take the ball out and get it to Micah Reed, who crosses it across court to Eilers. Back to Reed. Back to Eilers, who fires up at 3. No good. Rebounded by Voss. Grandview maintains possession. Voss kicks it out to Micah Reed. Micah looks inside. Tough pass, knocked out of bounds by Viterbo, and it's going to be Grandview ball under the hoop.
Right now, Grandview just trying to get it inside. Put up an early 3, but look for him to go back inside.
Jorgensen set to take it out. Hits Eilers. Right side. Crosses courts to Micah Reed. Back to Eilers. Couple dribbles to the baseline. Kicks it back out to Reed. Reverses the ball over to Jorgensen. Jorgensen dribbling around. 8 on the shot clock. Dump down. Jorgensen up and good.
What a nice play on the inside by the freshman Jorgensen. Gets it to fall. Right now, Viterbo put on a 2-3 zone there.
Templin brings it up, goes coast to coast for Viterbo, and they're going to have a blocking foul on the inside. The foul is going to go against Bailey Scheckinger. That's a questionable call there, Laramie, as Coach Smith has a few choice words with the official.
It's a tough call when you get inside there to call a charge or a blocking or no call.
Templin's first free throw is up and no good. Second one up and good, making the score 20-17 in favor of Viterbo. Viterbo pressing, Grandview bringing the ball up. Breaks the press quite easily. Now Jorgensen's trapped in the corner. She's going to lose the ball. Timeout. What do we got here? Oh, they're saying she's out of bounds, and they're going to give the ball to Viterbo.
And Jorgensen not happy about that. She was wanting a foul call. It looked like more of a wrap-up than a...
Ball in Viterbo's possession as Danny Templin will bring the ball up for the V-Hawks. Picks up her dribble at top of the key and throws the ball out of bounds. Good job by Jorgensen putting some pressure on her.
And right now, Vikings trying to put on a tough man-to-man defense. Going to really get up on the faces of Viterbo.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers so far in the game.
Shot clock down to
about a 15-second differential as Micah Reed has the ball. Looking for Jordan Thompson in the paint, and she's going to draw a foul here.
That was a good job on Thompson's part to seal her man off and slide inside and get the ball inside and try to put it up.
Yeah, and Jordan Thompson is shooting 1,000% from the line this year. She's 2 for 2. So let's see if she can keep that up.
I believe you can only shoot 100%.
Oh, 100,000, same thing. Move the decimal point a little bit. As we got a little perspiration on the court and don't have a towel boy, so the ref will grab a towel and clean it up himself there.
Could always hire one. I'll do it for some pay.
As we got a few subs here, as Molly Gonzalez is set to check into the game for the Vikings, and for the Viterbo V-Hawks, Jada Strub set to check in. First free throw's up and no good, and there goes that 100%.
Hey, you can't make them all every time. It's gonna be a tough go, but especially on limited playing time. Thompson really getting a real serious playing time tonight.
Second one's up and rattles in. Grandview up 39-28. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds left as Viterbo crosses the timeline.
And Viterbo's probably going to look to take the last shot here, going into the halftime with some momentum.
Finn has the ball on the right side. Finn looking inside, can't find nobody. Ball's knocked away momentarily, but regained by Viterbo. 5 seconds. It's Mandelaris, 3. Into Colby, little hook shot. Good at the buzzer.
What a tough shot by Colby. She puts up a nice little hook shot and gets it to go. Can't really stop that.
Yeah, beautiful move there by Colby, but your halftime score is going to be the Grandview Women Vikings, 39, and the Viterbo Women V-Hawks, 30. Very good half, Laramie. Give us your thoughts.
Well, what I saw was Grandview making that adjustment with 6.5 minutes left when Coach Smith called that timeout, and since then they have played the most stellar D they've played. I mean, the beginning of the game they start real slow, almost like it was hard for them to wake up. They come out after that 6.5 timeout, wake up, play tough D. The defense sparked their offense, which led them to get out to a 9-point lead at the end of the half. And right there they play great defense at the end of the half. You just can't stop a hook shot. That's going to go.
Yeah, beautiful job by the Vikings. We're going to be joined by the Grandview Vikings dance team here, and we're going to take a break, a minute break here. Thank you for listening to Grandview Women's Basketball. Your halftime score, Grandview 39, Viterbo V-Hawks 30.